we have learned how to solve a simply supported beam using 1D beam element, how to create multiple elements, and the concept of node A and node B. In session 10, we will learn node edit, temporary nodes and distance panels, line and line edit panels. So first, here are the panels we are going to see highlighted on this figure. Now nodes panel contains a lot of sub panels like XYZ, on geometry, arc center, extract. Under extract there are two categories, extract parametric, extract on line. Next is interpolate. Again there are three categories, interpolate nodes, interpolate on line, interpolate on surface, and the last is intersect. The next panel is node edit, under which you will find associate, move node, place node, remap and align node. Next is temporary nodes panel, and next is distance panel, in which you will find 2 point, 3 point, 2 node, 3 node. Next, in lines category, you will find XYZ nodes. Under nodes, you will find linear node, standard node, smooth node and control nodes. Then you have drag along vector. Then you have arc. Under arc, you will find center and radius arc, nodes and radius, and 3 nodes arc. Similarly, you have circle, under which you will find center and radius circle, nodes and vector circle, and 3 node circle. Then you have conic. Then you have extract. Under extract, you will have extract edges, extract parametric. Then intersect, manifold, offset, midline, fillet, tangent, normal. In normal, you have normal to geometry, normal from geometry, normal 2D on plane. And lastly, you have line edit panel, where you have the option of combining, split at point, split at joint, split at line, split at plane, smooth line, and extend line options. Now to show you all of the options, let's go directly to HyperMesh. Now in HyperMesh, first we will start with nodes panel. Now under nodes panel, the first option is XYZ. So in XYZ, you can simply define the coordinates and click on create, and the node will be created at that particular coordinate. So if I fit this to screen, you can see one node has been created at a value 0, 0, 0. Next is on geometry. So on geometry means in a particular geometry, you can create a node anywhere you like. So to show you this, first let me open up a surface. So now here is a surface. If I select the surface, now anywhere I click, I will be able to create nodes. So anywhere I left click, I can create nodes. That is the meaning of on geometry. Next is arc center. So for an arc center option, let me create an arc here. Okay, so on the screen, you should be able to see an arc. So if I want to find the center of this arc, I can change this option to lines. Similarly, if you have multiple nodes, you can select multiple nodes and that will be assumed as an arc, and you can find the center of that. In our case, we have a line, so I will select it to line. Select the line and then click on create. As soon as I click on create, a node will be created at the center of this arc. That is the meaning of arc center. Now next option is extract parametric. So extract parametric means if you select a line, you can create multiple equidistant nodes on that line. So for example, if I want to create, let's say, 3 nodes on this line equidistant from each other, all I have to do is go here in number of view nodes, define a value of 3 and click on create. So here you can see 3 nodes equidistant from each other has been created on this line. That is the meaning of extract parametric. So let me reject this. Next option you have is extract on line. So extract on line is similar. Here also you can select a line. You can tell the software how many nodes you want to see on the line. So I want to see 3 nodes, and then I will click on create. So again on the same line 3 nodes has been created. Now there are some additional options in the bottom which we are going to see in the upcoming sessions. Next option is interpolate, that is interpolate nodes. So interpolate nodes, you have to give multiple nodes, and between those nodes it can interpolate. So for example, if I give this node and this node, between these two nodes, how many nodes do you want to create? And again, they will be equidistant from each other. So let's say I want to create 2 nodes. Now as soon as I click on create, 2 nodes have been created in between the end nodes. That is the meaning of interpolate nodes. Next option is interpolate on line. So interpolate on line is similar to interpolate nodes, but in this case you have to directly give a line. So here you have to select the line, then you have to select the node list, between which nodes do you want to interpolate. So I want to interpolate between these 2 nodes. So how many nodes do you want in between these 2? So I want 3 nodes, and click on create. So as you can see, 3 nodes have been created. Last is the intersect option. So to show you intersect option, I need multiple lines. So here I have multiple lines. Now in the first line I am going to select this, in the second line I am going to select this. As soon as I click on create, it will create a node at the intersection. So that is the last intersect option in nodes panel. Now let me show you node edit panel. So in node edit panel, the first option we have is associate. For associate, we need a surface and a node. So if I select the surface, and if I select this node, and if I click on associate, what it basically does is, the node is now associated with this surface. Now I can perform the next set of operations. For example, move and place. So let me show you move node. So in move node, first you have to select the node that you want to move. Now the node has to be already associated with the surface. Then only you can select move node. Now select the direction in which you want to move. So let's say x-axis. By what step size? So let's say 1. And if you click on move plus, it will go in positive x-axis by 1 distance. Now if you keep on clicking, it will not move outside the surface. Similarly, you can click on move minus, and it will go back in negative x direction. Again, it will not move out of the surface. That is the meaning of move node. Next is place node. Place node means you can move an existing node and place it wherever you want to click. So here first I have to select the surface, then I have to select node to place, and now wherever I click, the node will be placed on that location. That is the meaning of place node. Next option is remap. So to show you remap, we will need multiple nodes. So here there are multiple nodes on the surface. Now I can select the nodes that I want to remap. So let's say I want to select these 3 nodes in the bottom. Then in line list I will select this bottom line. As soon as I click on remap, take a look at what happens with the nodes. So these nodes have been placed equidistant from each other on that particular line that I have selected. That is the meaning of remap. Similarly, the last option you have is align node. So in align node, basically you have to select the first node. So let's say this corner is the first node, second node, so this corner is the second node, and then you can keep on selecting nodes, and they will be directly put perpendicular in between these 2 nodes. So for example, if I select this node and click on align, see how it fall perpendicularly in between the first and second node. So now you can do the same thing on all the nodes. So if I select multiple nodes here, and if I click on align, they will all fall perpendicularly in between first and second node. That is the meaning of align node panel. Next panel is temporary nodes. So temporary node panel basically means that you can add a node, remove a node, or remove all the nodes. So add a node needs an element. In our case, I don't have an element, I have a geometry. So if you want to add a node on this geometry, you can simply use on geometry option under nodes panel. Here I will show you how to delete a node. So first I will select the node that I want to delete. So I want to delete this node, and this node, and as soon as I click on clear, these 3 nodes will be deleted. If you click on clear all the nodes will be deleted. That is the meaning of clear all and clear. Now click on return. Next panel is distance panel. For distance panel we will need some nodes. So as soon as you go to distance panel, the first option you have is 2 nodes. So 2 node basically means you can find out the distance between 2 nodes. So for example, if I select this node and this node, in between these 2 nodes it will show you the distance in x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. Now if you want to create nodes in between these two, you can simply enter a value here. So I want 2 nodes between these two, and click on nodes between, and 2 nodes are created here. Again they are equidistant from each other. Similarly, you have the option of 3 nodes. In 3 nodes you have the additional option n3. So if you select the additional n3 option, now you have n1, n2, n3. You can find distance between n1 and 2 and the angle because of 3 nodes. Next you have radius. So radius is the radius of the arc that is created using these 3 nodes. And again you have the option of node between. So again you can create multiple nodes in between n1 and n2. Similarly, you can perform the same operations for points. Next panel is lines panel. So in lines panel, the first option is XYZ. Here you can define a start point and an end point, and in between these 2 points software will create a simple line. So to do that, first let me remove the surface and the nodes. You can define the start point, let's say at the origin, end point, let's say in x-axis 10, and now click on create. So as soon as you click on create, it will create a line between start point and end point. Next option is linear nodes. For linear nodes we are going to use multiple nodes. So here we have to select multiple nodes, and in the order in which you select, it will automatically start creating the lines. So for example, if I select nodes in this order and click on create, as soon as I click on create, it will create a line between the nodes I have selected. Next option is standard nodes. So standard node is similar to linear nodes in the order in which you have selected the nodes. If you click on create, it will again create the lines. Next option is smooth nodes. Smooth nodes basically is going to convert corners into smooth corners. So again the nodes are selected. Now if I click on create, you can see that the corners are not sharp anymore. Instead they are more rounded. That is the meaning of smooth nodes. And lastly, we have control nodes. In control nodes, you can define the various aspects using which you can have the curvatures. So if I change the angle and click on create, now you can see how the curvature changes depending on the parameters. Next option is drag along a vector. So in drag along a vector, you simply select a node, tell the software in which direction do you want to drag. So let's say x-axis, by what distance do you want to drag, and then if you click on drag plus, it will drag in the positive x-axis. If you select drag minus, it will select the negative x-axis. Next option is arc, center and radius. So in arc, center and radius, you can simply select a node which is going to be the center of the arc. Select an axis perpendicular to the plane in which you want to create the arc. So let's say I want to create it in xy plane, that means z axis. Define the radius of the arc and the angle of the arc. And if you click on create, an arc has been created of angle 45 and radius 5 with this node at the center. Next option you have is arc, nodes and vector. So here you select the node, you select the distance that is going to be the radius of the arc, again the plane, so I have selected z-axis, and the angle. So if I click on create, you can see how 45-degree angle has been created using this as the radius, and this is the center. Last option you have is arc using 3 nodes. So here you have to simply select any 3 nodes, and in between the 3 nodes it will create an arc. So for example, if I select these 3 nodes and click on create, it will create an arc between the 3 nodes. Similarly, you have the option of circle. So for circle, again you can select the node, define the plane, define the radius and click on create, and the circle has been created. Next option is using nodes and vector. So same thing as before, select the node, select the center, and it will calculate the radius, define the offset and click on create, it will create the circle. And the last is using circle 3 nodes. So select 3 nodes, and using these 3 nodes, if you click on create, a circle has been created. Next option is a conic. For a conic, you can define the start point, the end point and the tangent point. So let's say the start point is 0, end point is at a distance of 10 in x, and the tangent point is, let's say, at a distance of 10 in y and 5 in x. And if I click on create, you can see how the conic is created. This is 0, this is 10, this is 10. So somewhere here there's another node which is 10, and the tangent point is created something like this. This is a conic. If it would have a sharp corner, then it would look like a cone. Next option is extract edge. Extract edge basically means if you have a surface and if you want to extract edges from that surface, all you have to do is select the surface and click on create. As soon as you click on create, lines will be created on the boundary. So right now you are not able to see this because there is also a surface here. So if you delete the surface, you will be able to see only the lines. So if you go to delete panel, if you select the surface and if you click on delete, now there is no surface here, there is only the boundary of the surface. Next option you have is extract parametric. Extract parametric is similar to extract edge, but here you can define which edges do you want to keep and which do you want to remove. So for example, let me just go to delete panel and delete the lines. Again I will create a surface here. So now if I select the surface, and here in lower bound and upper bound, if I keep 0 to 0.5 instead of 1, and if I click on create, now let me just simply delete the surface, and now you will see that it should keep only 2 edges. You can see it has only 2 extracted edges and it did not keep the 2 other edges. So that is the meaning of extract parametric. You can define how many edges you want and how many edges you do not want. Next option is intersect. Intersect is for intersection of planes and lines or intersection of surfaces. Here I will show you the intersection of surfaces. So let me just toggle this to surface. We need 2 surfaces for this. So let me create one more surface. So I have created a total of 2 surfaces here which are intersecting each other, but at the intersection right now there is no line. So if you want to see that, you can go to this wireframe mode and you can see at the intersection there is no line. So go back to the shaded geometry. So here I can select the first surface, I can select the second surface. As soon as I click on create, at the intersection a line has been created. So if I go back to the wireframe mode, you can see a line is created. That is the intersection option. Next option is manifold. So manifold is same as before. Here if you have a surface, you select the surface, you select the node list, and between the nodes software will create the lines. So you can see how it has created the lines. That is the meaning of manifold. Next option is offset. So in offset, if you select any arc, you can define a distance by which you want to offset that arc. So I want to offset this arc by a distance of 3. Now there are two options, plus minus. Now there is an arrow. The arrow indicates a positive direction. So if I click offset plus, here you can see the arc is offsetted. So 3 looks like a very huge number, so let me change it to 1. So if I click on offset minus, you can see offset on the other direction, offset plus, offset on this direction. Next option is midline. So midline is very simple to understand. Basically between two lines you can create a third line that is at the center of the two lines. So here you have to select two lines. So let me select the first line as this arc, second line as this arc. Now if I click on create, a center line has been created. This is the midline. Next option is fillet. So fillet is also very simple to understand. Basically you have to give two lines here and a radius of the fillet. So let's say the radius of the fillet is 1. This is the first line, this is the second line, and you can see a radius of 1 fillet has been created. Next we have tangent. So for tangent we will need multiple curvatures, that is multiple circles. So I will create multiple circles using circle center and radius option. First circle I will create here, second circle I will create here. Now if I go back to tangent option, select the first line, select the second line, and as soon as I click on create, you can see it shows all the possible tangents. So which tangent do you want to keep? Select that one. So I want to keep this tangent, so I will select this one, and you can see the tangent has been created. Next option is normal to geometry. So it is a very simple option. Here you select a line, a node, and as soon as you click on create, software will drop a perpendicular from this node to this line. That is the meaning of normal to geometry. Next option is normal from geometry. So here first we will select the line. So let's say this is our line. Then select the node. So let's say this is the node. Then define a length. So let's say 2 is the length. As soon as I click on normal plus, a normal will be created from this node on this and this line of a length 2. That is the meaning of normal from geometry. The last option is normal 2D on plane. So this panel is same as before. Instead it will work with the planes. So here again I will give the same node, the same line, but let's say the base point this time is somewhere here. If I give a length of 2 and click on normal plus, again it will create a normal according to the line, the node, the base point and the plane. So this is normal 2D on plane option. Now let me show you the line edit options. So in line edit there are lots of options like combine line or split line. So first let me show you the combine line option. So here around the fillet there are two lines. This curved line is one and this straight line is second. So if you want to combine these two lines together, you can do that using this option. First let me just quickly delete the surface. Now here I will select the first line and then I will select the second vertical line. Now you can see how this single line, this line has been converted into a single line. That is the meaning of combine. Now similarly, you can select split at joint and select the line, and immediately it will highlight the joint. So if you want to split it again, you can simply click on the joint and again it will be split into two sections. So basically split at joint can split and combine will combine the two lines. Split at point is different. Split at point will split wherever you click. So if I select this line and if I click here, it will split from here. So I have one line and two line. Next is split at line. So split at line means you have a line and which you want to use as a cut line. For example, this line I want to split using this horizontal line. So this horizontal line will act as my cut line. So go to cut line, select this horizontal line and click on split. So it will give a warning that these two does not intersect. Do you still want to do this? So click on stop, because these do not intersect. So we will not do this. Instead, let's say this line I want to split using. Okay, so the reason why this error is happening is because there is a surface here. This is the reason why it is happening. So if I rotate this and if I select this line and this as the cut line, and then if I click on split, now you can see there is no error, there is no warning, because these two touch each other. So this is separate, this is separate. Similarly, you have the option of split at plane. So split at plane means using a plane to cut a line. For example, let's say this is the line I want to cut, which looks like W. So this W I want to cut using a plane, let's say ZX. So here to define ZX plane, I will simply select Y-axis. Base point is this base point, and now click on split. As soon as I click on split, you can see how it has splitted these sections. So from the base point, it used ZX plane to split the line. Next is smooth line. So here, if I select this line for smoothness, you can see how there are these plus symbols on the line. So if I select this and click on smooth, now the curves become more smoother by defining more points. That is the meaning of smooth line. Last option is extend. So for extend, you can select any line and you will have an option of extending the line. So let me show you using this line here. So as soon as I select the line, you can see there is an icon here. So this is the icon from where it will start extending if you click on extend minus. For example, if I give a distance of 1 and if I click on extend minus, you can see how it is extended from the direction, the icon it was showing earlier. Similarly, if I click on extend plus, it will extend from the opposite direction. So that is the extend line option. So here we are done with node, node edit, temporary node, distance, lines and line edit panel. So here we are done with session number 10. Thanks a lot for attending session number 10. In session 11, we are going to cover the theory of free freedom.